Welcome back to my channel, Dr. Rajiv Sikrolia Talks. In today's lecture, we will deal with indifference curves. So the objectives for the session will be to build up the concept of indifference curve. Then secondly, we will discuss the indifference curve and map. In addition to this, we will discuss the budget line for the consumer, and finally, we will deal with the properties of the indifference curve. The concept of indifference curve was developed by Vilfredo Pareto. So according to this theory, the consumer will be offered the bundle of goods, that is the combination of the two goods at least. The consumer should be indifferent about it because the consumer is getting the value for the money. So already I have told that the consumer will be having the one budget line, that is the price line of the consumer. On this the consumer would like to purchase the products, and he has been given the two combinations of the products, say the cloths and the food packets. Now, as I have already discussed that it is a situation in which the consumer will be having no profit, no loss situation, and he will be indifferent or having neutral approach towards the combination offered to him. Actually, the indifference curve as well as the demand curve has been taken from the concept of consumer's perspective. So, as we have seen in the demand and demand curve, that with the increase in the prices of the product, the demand for the product was decreasing. This is what was happening. It was due to the consumer's perspective. So, if the consumer is getting the things costly, he will be reducing the demand for the product. Similarly, the indifference curve is also seen from the perspective of the consumer, as the consumer will be having the different combinations offered to him at the same prices at the given income. So here also the consumer will be having the approach of indifference, and the consumer perspective will be taken into consideration. Now the definition I am telling, it is a curve that represents the bundle of goods which give consumer the same level of satisfaction. Hence the word indifference means the consumer do not gain or lose utility or satisfaction if they move along the curve from point 1 to another point. So on the curve or movement along the curve will be having the same utility for the consumer. This has to be seen from the indifference curve. So here is a diagram for the indifference curve, where on the x-axis the food packets offered to the consumers have been taken and plotted, and on the y-axis the clothing in unit has been taken into consideration, has been plotted. So we can see the different combination set of the combination offered to the consumer, which is represented here as A, B, combination C, combination D, and the IC represents the indifference curve. And we have to note that this indifference curve has been drawn on the consumer's budget line, and it is constant, it is not changing. Now coming to the next point, here is the indifference schedule, indifference curve or indifference schedule offered to the consumer, and on the extreme left I have taken the combination offered to the consumer, which is represented as A, B, C, D and E, and clothing in unit has been taken from 1 to 5 units, and thereafter on the extreme right the food packets offered to the consumer at the same consumer's income has been represented here, which is 10, 7, 5, 3 and 1. Now the indifference map has been plotted. So again on the x-axis the good X has been plotted, and on the y-axis the good Y has been plotted, and IC1 represents the indifference curve for the income, say Y, then IC2 for the income Y2 of the consumer, and IC3 is the indifference curve represented for the consumer at Y3 income. And we can see the different sets of the consumer's indifference curve, which has been represented as IC1, IC2 and IC3. Now this has to be noted that IC1 will be having the lesser satisfaction in comparison to the IC2 curve. IC3 curve will be having the highest level of satisfaction because it has been drawn at the higher level of the consumer's income or consumer's budget line. So this is all about the indifference map. Then coming to the price line or the budget line, this is very important perspective that has to be understood. That suppose if you are a consumer and you have a 5,000 rupees in your hand, it is your consumer's budget or price line for the consumer, and in the graph it has been represented with the curve, and the point K is the lesser satisfaction for the consumer, and point X will be representing the higher level of satisfaction for the consumer, let us see. So in the curve we can see at the point K, the consumer will be having the less satisfaction because he is getting the less combination offered to him at the higher price line, while on the point H, because it is at the higher indifference curve, so the consumer will be having the higher level of satisfaction. So here is the price line which has to be taken into consideration, and if somebody want to draw indifference curve, it has to be drawn at the same budget line. So the budget line is the price line and the indifference curve will be represented here, and the point where it will be touching indifference curve will touch, that is the tangent, and that point will be known as the consumer's equilibrium. Suppose it is meeting at the point close to H, so that will be the consumer's equilibrium, which has not been represented here actually. And now the price line has been represented mathematically, and it is all about the definition of the price line, which says the consumer's income, which is the constant. Hence, at a given level of income, the consumer has to purchase combination of two goods limited by that price line. So mathematically it is represented as Px Qx plus Py Qy, where Px is the price of product X, Qx is the demand of the product X, Py is the price of product Y, and Qy is the demand of product Y by the consumer. So the budget line will be the combination of PQX plus PQY, and moving to the assumptions of indifference curve. So here the assumptions are rationality, utility is ordinal, and diminishing marginal rate of substitution. So the rationality means here the consumer is assumed as a rational person. So he is the most logical person if he is making the investment or if he is making the consumption. So that will be on the logical ground or on the rational ground. Then second assumption is that the consumer is utility. For the consumer, the utility is ordinal. So ordinal means that the consumer can at least rank or order the products. He can at least say us that product A is preferred to product B or C. So that he can be putting the order, or in the ranking he can put the 1, 2, 3 or ABC, whatever the order he prefers, he can always tell the investigator. Then third one is the diminishing marginal rate of substitution. It is actually the concept whereby the additional consumption of another product will be depending on the less consumption of the another product. Let to product X and Y are there. So if you want to consume product X more, in that case we have to sacrifice product Y. So this is all about the marginal rate of substitution, and in the next slide we will be talking about it. Now next assumption is the consistency. So what consistency is, actually it says if consumer prefers combination A over B, and in that case the B cannot be greater than A. So A is greater than B, which says that B can never be greater than A. This is the concept of consistency. Then transitivity says, it is another assumption, and transitivity says that if a consumer prefers product A over product B and B is preferred to C, then bundle A is preferred to C. So mathematically it can be represented as A greater than B greater than C. In that case A will be greater than C. Let us see from the slide. So the consistency approach said that A is greater than B and B cannot be greater than A, and in the transitivity approach, the mathematical representation is A is greater than B and B is greater than C. Then A will always be greater than C. Now in the detail we are discussing the marginal rate of substitution. It is very important because the indifference curves are plotted on this assumption, and it is very important. It says that MRSX for Y, which says that change in the consumption of Y with respect to change in the consumption in the product X. So as we have seen in the graph, the indifference curves are downward sloping, and at any point of the curve it represents the MRSX for Y, and here are important conditions which has to be taken into consideration. Condition 1 says if MRSX for Y is diminishing, that is decreasing, the indifference curve must be convex to the origin. It is convex to origin. Okay. Then second one is that if it is constant, if MRSX for Y is constant, in that case the indifference curve will be the straight line. It will not be curvilinear, it will be a straight line. And if MRSX for Y increases, then indifference curve will be convex. This will never happen. It is not a property of the indifference curve, because indifference curves are the convex to origin. So indifference curve will be concave if MRS is increasing. Then last condition is if the products are complementary. Say two goods are there and they are complementary to each other, they are used in combination of each other. In that case, the indifference curve will be straight line. Again, it will be the right angle curve. So right angle will be there for the indifference curve, and it is also not a combination. Now let us discuss the properties of the indifference curve. It is very important question. It is generally asked in the question paper. So what are the properties of the indifference curve? So the first property of indifference curve is that they are downward sloping towards right, and the indifference curve are convex to origin. Convex to origin, in that indifference curve we have seen that the curve here convex to origin. Then two indifference curve cannot intersect at any point. They cannot intersect because intersecting means that the two indifference curve are having the same utility for the consumer, which have been drawn at the different budget lines. So this is not possible. If the consumer is making more investment, he will be at the high level of satisfaction. So this is another property, that two indifference curve can never intersect each other. Then next property is that they cannot be parallel to each other. Two indifference curve cannot be parallel to each other, because indifference curves are the combination of the two goods offered to the consumer. So they can never be parallel, because parallel means that you are discontinuing the consumption of another product, which is not the assumption of the indifference curve. And last property is that higher level of indifference curve represents higher level of satisfaction in comparison to the indifference curve drawn at a lesser point. So this was all about the indifference curve for today. So thank you for watching the video. Keep watching.